million, and among the top imports were mineral fuels and oils and cocoa. Nigeria is also a large recipient of Canadian international assistance. In fiscal year 2022-2023, Canada provided $277 million to Nigeria. So, the mission of the Canadian Trade Commissioner Service, also known as the TCS, is to, number one, advance Canada's commercial interests around the world. But we also work hard to help Canadian companies succeed. The TCS has been around since 1894, so for over 125 years, the TCS has been helping thousands of Canadian companies. I'd like to give you an idea of the scale of our operations. So in Canada, we have 6 regional offices. Every single Canadian geographical region is covered by an office, and some offices cover multiple geographical regions. Abroad, we have 160 offices in 101 countries with over 1,000 trade officers prepared to help your country export goods and services. And in Nigeria specifically, we have a Canadian Embassy and Trade Office in Lagos with trade commissioners prepared to help your company expand into the market. So on the screen in front of you, I've placed a picture of a map, and this map demonstrates all of the offices we have in Canada. So we have an office in Halifax, Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. And in addition to our regional office hubs, which are our main offices, we also have individuals called satellite officers. So these are essentially individuals who work remotely from important business regions outside the main business hubs. So in Ontario, we have an individual in Ottawa, and we have an individual that covers the Kitchener-Waterloo region, as well as an individual in Southern Ontario. So there are several criteria which a company must meet before we can consider them a client of the TCS. Firstly, we expect companies to come to us with an export plan, as well as they should have selected and researched either one target market or a few target markets of interest. We also expect companies to be able to commit financial and human resources towards their international business development. We expect companies to be incorporated and have an existing record of sales in Canada. And for this reason, we typically don't work with startups or one-person companies. We also have a requirement with that a company must feature at least 51% Canadian content in their product, service, or technology, or they should be able to clearly demonstrate how their company, product, service, or technology can create a significant economic benefit to Canada. The way I like to best explain this concept to companies is, for example, take a Canadian fashion brand. A lot of Canadian fashion brands don't necessarily manufacture their clothing in Canada because of the cost. It's prohibitive. However, if they have, say, an office in Toronto or in Vancouver or wherever, and they design all their clothing here and they employ several staff members, you can easily see how this would contribute significantly to Canada's economy. Lastly, if your company is being represented by a consultant, an agent, or any sort of representative, we may ask you for an authorization letter. And while this is our criteria, we work on a serve or refer model. So if we're not necessarily able to serve your company at this time, for whatever reason it may be, we will refer you to an organization or a number of organizations that will be able to assist in your business development. And we are always happy to provide service to clients later down the line when maybe your company has developed a little further. We always encourage companies to come back to us, and we're more than happy to help.